Muhammad Ali didn't try to knock him out. He tried to break something much deeper. For 15 rounds, Ali kept asking one question that Ernie Terrell couldn't answer. What's my name? Muhammad Ali stands in the center of the ring. The 6th of February 1967, Houston Astrodome, 37,321 people watching. And he's not trying to win, he's trying to teach. His opponent, Ernie Terrell, 6'6", 212 pounds, undefeated in his last 8 fights, keeps calling him by the wrong name, Cassius Clay. The name Muhammad Ali buried 3 years ago. The slave name. And for that disrespect, Ali won't knock him out. He'll do something worse. He'll make Terrell remember this night for the rest of his life. Round after round, jab after jab, one question repeated like a prayer, like a curse, like the only truth that matters. What's my name? This isn't just a fight. This is 15 rounds of education delivered through leather gloves and controlled violence. This is what happens when you disrespect a man's identity, his faith, his choice to become someone new. This is Muhammad Ali, teaching the world that some things matter more than winning. Like being called by the name you chose for yourself. But to understand why this fight became legendary, why it's remembered not for knockouts, but for psychological warfare, why Ali's question echoes through history, we need to go back 6 weeks. Back to when this became personal. December 1966. Muhammad Ali is in his training camp in Miami, preparing for Ernie Terrell. And a reporter asks Terrell what he thinks about facing the greatest. Terrell looks directly into the camera and says, "I'm not fighting Muhammad Ali. I'm fighting Cassius Clay. That's his real name. That's what I'm going to call him." The words hit the black community like a slap. Everyone knows what this means. In 1964, Cassius Clay became Muhammad Ali after joining the Nation of Islam. It wasn't just a name change. It was a declaration, a rejection of the name given to his ancestors by slave owners, a claiming of identity, of dignity, of self-determination. Malcolm X stood beside him. The world took notice. Some celebrated, some condemned, but everyone understood this wasn't casual. This was revolutionary. And now Ernie Terrell, a black man, was refusing to use that name. The betrayal cut deeper than any white fighter's disrespect could. When white fighters called him Clay, it was expected. They were part of the system, trying to diminish him, trying to keep him in his place. But Terrell? Terrell should have understood, should have recognized what that name meant to every black person fighting for dignity, for recognition, for the basic human right to name yourself. Ali's response was immediate and public. He told reporters, "Ernie Terrell is an Uncle Tom. He's been whooped so many times by the white man, he don't even know who he is anymore. I'm gonna teach him. I'm gonna make him say my name." The media loved it. Ali versus Terrell became more than a boxing match. It became a referendum on black identity, on respectability politics, on whether you could be successful by playing by the white establishment's rules or whether real change required complete rejection of those rules. Terrell represented the old way. Be successful. Don't rock the boat. Don't make white people uncomfortable. Ali represented the new way. Demand respect. Refuse compromise. Force the world to see you as you define yourself. Terrell doubled down. In interview after interview, he insisted on calling Ali Clay, not as a slip of the tongue, as a statement. He told one reporter, "That's the name on his birth certificate. That's his legal name. I don't have to call him anything else." Linda, Ali's wife at the time, watched these interviews with growing anger. She saw how each instance of Clay affected her husband, how his jaw would tighten, how his eyes would harden. She told him, "You can't let him get in your head. That's what he wants." But Ali wasn't letting Terrell in his head. He was letting him dig his own grave. "Baby," Ali said, pulling her close. "I'm not upset. I'm focused. There's a difference. When we get in that ring, I'm gonna do something nobody's ever seen. I'm not gonna knock him out quick. I'm gonna talk to him, educate him, make him remember who he's disrespecting." Linda felt a chill. She'd seen Ali angry before, seen him channel rage into devastating performances. But this was different. This was cold, calculated, personal. The weeks leading up to the fight, the pressure on Ali intensifies from every direction. The boxing commission is watching him closely. His stance against the Vietnam War draft has made him a target. Politicians want him silenced. The FBI has a file on him thicker than a phone book. Every public appearance is scrutinized. Every interview is analyzed for evidence of anti-American sentiment. And through it all, Terrell keeps calling him Clay. Howard Cosell, the legendary sportscaster, sits down with both fighters separately. When he interviews Terrell, he asks, "Why won't you call him Muhammad Ali?" Terrell shifts in his chair, uncomfortable but defiant. "Look, Howard, I knew him as Cassius Clay. That's how I met him. That's how I know him. I'm not getting into all this religious stuff. I'm just here to fight." When Cosell asks Ali the same question in reverse, "How do you feel about Ernie calling you Clay?" Ali's response is measured but firm. "He knows what he's doing, Howard. This ain't about forgetting my name. This is about disrespect." When a man changes his name, when he joins a religion, when he makes a choice about his own identity, you respect that. You don't get to decide what to call him. He decides. And if Ernie Terrell thinks he can disrespect me and my faith and walk away without consequences, he's about to learn the hardest lesson of his life. Cosell leans forward. "Are you saying you're going to seriously hurt him?" Ali smiles, but there's no warmth in it. "I'm saying I'm going to make him wish I'd knocked him out in the first round." The Houston Astrodome is packed. This is the first indoor heavyweight championship fight in history. 37,321 people filling the seats. The energy is electric, dangerous. The crowd knows this is more than sport. This is personal. This is political. This is a reckoning. Ali enters first, dancing down the aisle, his white robe catching the lights. His face is calm, but his eyes scan the crowd constantly, looking for threats. The FBI has been investigating him. There have been death threats, anonymous letters promising violence. He trusts no one except his corner, his team, the men who've stood with him through everything. Then Terrell enters, tall, powerful, confident. He looks across the ring at Ali, and there's no fear in his eyes, just determination. He believes he can win, believes his size advantage, his reach, his power will overcome Ali's speed and skill. He's wrong, but he doesn't know it yet. The referee calls them to the center of the ring, goes through the standard instructions. Protect yourself at all times. Break when I say break. Touch gloves. Terrell extends his glove. Ali looks at it, looks at Terrell, then speaks, just loud enough for Terrell to hear. "What's my name?" Terrell's face hardens. He says nothing, returns to his corner. The bell rings. Ali doesn't rush forward, doesn't throw wild punches, just circles, measuring distance, studying Terrell's movement. Then he flicks out his jab. Once, twice, testing. Each jab lands clean. Terrell tries to counter, but Ali's already gone, sliding out of range with that supernatural speed. Then Ali speaks, loud enough for the front rows to hear. "What's my name? Uncle Tom?" Terrell's eyes flash with anger. He throws a right hand. Ali slips it easily, counters with a combination. Left jab, right cross, left hook. All three land. Terrell's head snaps back. "What's my name?" The pattern is established. Ali doesn't load up for power shots. He's not trying to end this quickly. Every punch is controlled, precise, designed to hurt just enough to remind Terrell that Ali is in complete control. Could end this whenever he wants, but won't. Terrell tries to use his height advantage, reaches down with his jab. Ali walks through it, closes the distance, and suddenly he's inside, working the body. Left hook to the ribs, right uppercut to the solar plexus. Terrell's breath comes out in a rush. Ali steps back, just out of range, and asks again, "Say my name." Terrell's corner is screaming instructions, but Terrell can barely hear them over the sound of his own breathing, over Ali's voice. That question, over and over. The bell rings. Round 1 is over. Terrell walks back to his corner, and his trainer sees it immediately. This isn't going to be a normal fight. Ali isn't trying to knock him out. He's trying to break him. By round 3, everyone in the Astrodome understands what they're witnessing. This isn't a boxing match. This is something else, something unprecedented. Ali is conducting a 15-round seminar on the cost of disrespect. Terrell comes out aggressive, trying to establish his own rhythm, trying to take control. He throws a combination. 1, 2, 3. All 3 punches miss. Ali makes him look slow. Makes him look like he's moving through water, while Ali moves through air. Then Ali counters. Not with power, with volume. Jab, 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 jab. 7 consecutive jabs, each one landing clean on Terrell's face. Each one followed by the same question. "What's my name?" Terrell's left eye is starting to swell. The jabs are accumulating damage. Not knockout damage. Worse, the kind of damage that builds over rounds, that turns your face into a mask of pain. That makes you dread the next punch because you know it's coming but you can't stop it. Ali circles to his right, then suddenly reverses, catches Terrell moving the wrong direction, lands a perfect right hand. Not a knockout blow. Just enough to remind Terrell that Ali could hurt him badly if he wanted to. "Say it. Say my name." The crowd is divided. Half are cheering for Ali, recognizing what he's doing, understanding the symbolic importance. The other half are uncomfortable. This feels cruel, excessive, like watching someone torture a smaller animal. But Ali doesn't care about the crowd. His entire focus is on Terrell, on this moment, on this lesson. In his corner between rounds, Ali's trainer, Angelo Dundee, leans in close. "He's hurt. You can take him out any time you want." Ali shakes his head. "Not yet. He hasn't learned yet." By round 7, Terrell is bleeding. Not from one cut, from multiple cuts. His left eye is swollen, nearly shut. His right eye is bruised. His lips are cut. His nose is bleeding. He looks like he's been in a car accident, not a boxing match. But he's still standing, still fighting, still refusing to say the name. Ali respects that, respects the toughness, the refusal to quit, but it doesn't change anything. The lesson continues. This round, Ali starts holding Terrell's head, not in a clinch, in a teaching position. He grabs Terrell's head with his left glove and uses his right hand to measure distance. Then he throws short, precise punches, one after another, not trying to knock Terrell out, just trying to inflict specific, controlled damage. The referee tries to break them apart, but Ali ignores him, keeps holding, keeps punching, keeps asking, "What's my name? What's my name?" Terrell tries to push him away, but Ali is stronger than he looks, stronger than his 6'3", 210-pound frame suggests. He holds Terrell in place and continues the assault. When they finally separate, Terrell staggers back to the ropes. His legs are still strong. He's not going to fall. But his face tells a different story. His face says he wants this to be over. His face says he made a terrible mistake. But his mouth still won't say the name. Round 10. Terrell is survival mode now. No longer trying to win, just trying to make it to the final bell. His corner is debating whether to stop the fight. His trainer keeps asking him, Do you want me to stop it? Terrell shakes his head. No, I can make it. But making it means 15 more minutes of controlled punishment. 15 more minutes of that question. What's my name? Ali has stopped throwing power punches entirely now. He's just throwing jabs, hundreds of jabs, each one landing on Terrell's destroyed face, each one followed by the question. The crowd has gone from uncomfortable to horrified. This isn't sport anymore. This is something else. Howard Cosell, commentating for the broadcast, can barely watch. He says into the microphone, "This is one of the most brutal displays I've ever witnessed. Ali is not trying to knock Terrell out. He's trying to make him suffer. And I don't know which is worse." But in the black community watching on television, reactions are mixed. Some are disturbed by the violence. Others see it as necessary, as Ali teaching a lesson that needed teaching. As Ali defending not just his own name, but the names of every black person who ever tried to define themselves on their own terms. In round 11, something shifts. Terrell's resistance weakens, not physically, psychologically. Ali can see it in his eyes, the moment when pride gives way to reality. When Terrell understands that this will not end until Ali decides it ends, that he has no control, that his only choice is to endure. But still, he doesn't say the name. Between rounds, Terrell's cornermen are begging him, "Just say it. Say Muhammad Ali. End this." But Terrell refuses. And in that moment, watching him refuse, something becomes clear. This isn't about stubbornness anymore. This isn't about pride. This is about Terrell's own identity crisis. Terrell grew up in a different era, came of age when success meant assimilation, meant not making waves, meant being acceptable to white America. He'd built his career on being the good black fighter, the one who didn't cause trouble, the one sponsors wanted, the one who could be marketed to white audiences without making them uncomfortable. And then came Muhammad Ali, loud, proud, unapologetic, refusing to be anything other than exactly who he was, and succeeding, becoming the most famous athlete in the world, not despite his refusal to assimilate, but because of it. Ali represented everything Terrell had been taught to avoid, and Terrell calling him Clay wasn't just disrespect, it was Terrell's desperate attempt to hold on to his own worldview, to prove that the old way still worked, that you could still succeed by playing by the rules. But with every punch that landed on his face, that worldview was being demolished. Round 14. Terrell can barely see out of either eye. His face is a mess of blood and swelling. The referee has checked on him 3 times, asking if he wants to continue. Each time, Terrell says yes. Ali, meanwhile, looks like he just finished a light workout. No marks on his face, no signs of fatigue, complete domination. Ali holds Terrell's head again. This time, he doesn't throw punches, just holds him there, stares into his eyes, and asks the question one more time, but different now, not mocking, not angry, almost sad. "What's my name, brother? Just say it. This can be over." For a moment, Terrell's mouth moves, like he might actually say it, like the 14 rounds of punishment finally broke through. But then his jaw sets. He shakes his head slightly, and Ali sees it. Understands that Terrell will never say it, not because of pride anymore, because saying it would mean admitting everything he believed about success, about respectability, about the right way to be black in America, was wrong. And that's a defeat Terrell can't accept, would rather take 15 rounds of physical punishment than accept that psychological defeat. Ali respects that, in a strange way, respects the commitment to a belief system even when it's destroying you. So, he doesn't ask again. The final round. Terrell somehow survives, makes it to the final bell. The crowd gives him a standing ovation. Not because he won, he lost every single round, but because he endured. Because he refused to quit even when quitting was the smart choice. The judges' scorecards are unanimous. Muhammad Ali wins by decision. But nobody remembers the score. What they remember is the question. What's my name? In the post-fight interview, a reporter asks Ali if he regrets the brutality, if he thinks he went too far. Ali looks directly into the camera. I regret that I had to teach that lesson. But if a man won't respect my name, won't respect my faith, won't respect my choice to define myself, then he needs to learn. And learning hurts sometimes. Another reporter asks Terrell if he'll call him Muhammad Ali now. Terrell, barely able to speak through swollen lips, says, "In the ring, he proved he's Muhammad Ali. I respect that." Not quite an admission, but close enough. 1987. Muhammad Ali is retired. Parkinson's disease has taken his speed, his voice, but not his presence. He's at a charity event in Chicago when he sees Ernie Terrell across the room. They haven't spoken since that night in Houston. 20 years of silence. Ali walks over. Slowly now. The grace is gone, but the dignity remains. Terrell sees him coming. For a moment, considers leaving, but then stands his ground. Faces the man who taught him the hardest lesson of his life. They stand face to face, two old fighters, two different paths to the same destination, understanding. Ali extends his hand. Terrell takes it. "I'm sorry," Ali says. His voice is quiet now, affected by the disease, but the words are clear. "I'm sorry I had to hurt you to make my point." Terrell looks at him. 20 years of thinking about that night, about that question, about what it cost him, about what it taught him. "You didn't just hurt me," Terrell says. "You changed me, made me understand something I was too proud to see, that defining yourself isn't disrespect, it's necessary. You were right, I was wrong." Ali nods. "We were both doing what we thought we had to do." "No," Terrell insists. "You were doing what you had to do. I was doing what I was trained to do. There's a difference." They talk for an hour. About that fight, about the choices they made, about the paths they took, about how the world changed because men like Ali refused to accept the names given to them by others. Before they part, Terrell says one more thing. "Muhammad Ali, that's your name. That's who you are. That's who you always were. I just couldn't see it." Ali smiles. The same smile that charmed the world. "You see it now. That's what matters." The 6th of February, 1967. Houston Astrodome. Muhammad Ali versus Ernie Terrell. The fight that became a question. The question that became a movement. What's my name? It wasn't just about a name. It was about identity. About the right to define yourself. About refusing to accept the identity others force on you. About understanding that true power isn't just physical. It's the power to say, "This is who I am," and you will respect that. Every black person who changed their name understood. Every immigrant who anglicized their name and then changed it back understood. Every trans person who chose their own name understood. Every person who ever refused to accept the identity society assigned them understood. The fight was brutal. The question was simple. The lesson was profound. You don't get to decide what to call me. I decide. And if you refuse to respect that, if you refuse to acknowledge my humanity, my agency, my right to self-determination, then you'll learn. One way or another, you'll learn. Muhammad Ali taught that lesson in the most direct way possible, for 15 rounds, with one question asked over and over until it became a mantra, a philosophy, a revolution. What's my name? 57 years later, we're still answering that question. Every time someone respects another person's chosen name, every time someone uses correct pronouns, every time someone acknowledges that identity is not assigned, it's claimed. Muhammad Ali didn't just win a fight that night. He won something bigger, the right to be called by the name he chose, and in doing so, he fought for everyone's right to do the same. The question echoes through history, simple, powerful, eternal. What's my name? And the only acceptable answer is the one the person gives you. Anything else isn't just wrong. It's an act of violence, a denial of humanity, a refusal to see someone as they truly are. Muhammad Ali made Ernie Terrell understand that, made the world understand that, made history understand that. One question, 15 rounds, a lifetime of meaning. What's my name?